Hi guys. Wait, I'll do the Three Stooges thing again because this is tight quarters. And it's Matt Lemke again with Through Gamer Goggles Modiphius Part 2. And this is the other web. They're not brothers, which they could actually probably pass as brothers.
Because we both have beards?
Same size, structure, chin, you know.
Sure, same chin.
And when I say the other web, we'll actually go with his first name, Jon.
Right.
And he does the miniature games. So we're going to talk about Fallout and Elder Scrolls. So we'll start with Fallout, which last year when I looked at it before I filmed the demo, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this, but I liked it.
Good.
I had a Pyrrhic victory because I always want to call him Meathead and he's Dog Meat. Dog Meat won.
Dog Meat always wins. Dog Meat is...
he was the last model on the table.
We've actually had to tone Dog Meat down. Dog Meat's so good. We've errated Dog Meat down a little bit.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
He was very good.
He was the best of dogs.
Well, he is the best of dogs.
The best of dogs. Absolutely.
But anyway, I kind of don't know where to start.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the new stuff, or do you want to talk about Fallout as a game?
I mean, it's got to be so fun working with Bethesda.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, you've got all the terrain lines and stuff now, and you got new minis coming out. Well, let's start with the new minis.
Okay, let's talk about the Raiders then. So, this time last year, like we were at the kind of the release point. Like it's been a year. It's like the 1 year anniversary really of Fallout being commercially available. So we did the big pre-order. Obviously, we had a few hiccups shipping that, but we got there in the end, and people were very patient. So as ever, we thank people for their patience. And so last year we were not selling the game because we were still fulfilling the pre-order. So this is the first. Ironic. It's my third Gen Con with Modiphius. It's the first Gen Con we're actually selling my products, which is nice. And what we're releasing really in August, and it's pretty much the first chance for a lot of you guys to get it over here, is the Raiders Wave. So the Raiders Wave is split into 3 parts, and the chunk we're releasing is the Raiders themselves. So there's 3 Raiders boxes. There's the Raiders Core, which is always the foundation of any faction. Gets you a nice variety of troops. Then we've got the character pack with Akak, St. John, and Avery. So 3 fairly well-known Raider characters from Fallout 4. And then we've got a Trooper expansion, which gives you 2 new Raiders models, 2 new Corsa models, 2 new Scaver models, and 2 new Psycho models. So that gives you kind of the full breadth of the Raiders. So you've got your kind of your baseline grunts who tend to be like the meat of the army. You've got the Psychos who are the chem craze, super close combat guys and gals, and then you've got the Scavers who are my favourite. They're the guys in the leather jackets who are really good snipers. There's in those 3 boxes, there's not a single model repeated. So that's something I was very keen to ensure on. So I know with some of the survivors, we doubled up on a couple of models and some of the Brotherhood. With the Raiders and going forward thereafter, there's no repeated sculpts. I think with a skirmish game, you have so few models in your army. I think it's important that they are all unique and characterful. So the Raiders, I'm quite proud of them. Like they were kind of my baby last year. I was. So the first wave had been done, but I was like, no, we need more sculpts. We need to make sure we don't repeat anything. So the 6-pack of alternate models, I was working on that at the show last year, kind of going through the final preparation stages with the sculptor, getting the poses signed off, making sure we were happy with the final sculpts. So it's really good. It's a year is pretty fast to go a model from concept and brief to release. Yes. So that's unusual. Like that's us being ahead of the game for once. So that's kind of the first chunk. We've also got the card packs. That's something a little bit different with Fallout now. We had to make a difficult decision. We had to take the cards out of the boxes. Basically, it was just becoming a logistical packaging nightmare. The cards are made in France, the models are made in England, the boxes are made in Europe. And kind of trying to get all those bits into one place and assemble them. It was just really slowing us down. It was adding to cost. It was just not satisfying. And that's why some of the Wave 1 stuff got a bit bumpy, is because we just didn't get cards in the right places at the right times. So we made the decision to pull the cards out and make them a standalone product. And what's good about that card pack is it's got like the next 3 months worth of releases in it, so you don't just get the Raiders cards in there. You get a whole bunch of new creatures and a whole bunch of new robots and some extra troops for the survivors. So you get Armored Dogmeat and the XO1 suit in there with a new Soul Survivor profile. So you kind of have to almost think of them in a weird way as like little army books. So although it's a card pack, it's also kind of an expansion of the game and an army book. And the other thing we're releasing at the show this weekend is the RPG. So it's a standalone RPG, but it kind of builds off the Fallout game. So it uses a lot of the Fallout engine, and it uses all the same components. So that card pack, as well as being new content for Wave 2, it's also a whole bunch of new NPCs or enemy cards and equipment and mods and perks and buffs for the RPG. So if you're an RPG player, you can grab that, and you don't need the miniatures. If you're a miniatures player, you can grab it, and then you've got a whole bunch of stuff for your miniatures game. If you want to play the RPG with miniatures, it's kind of built around that as a concept. You can play it Theatre of the Mind, or you can play it miniatures. So, you know, we're really trying to synchronize that. So rather than have you go out and have to buy an RPG as well as the war game, it's like, no, you buy the war game, you've got about 80% of the RPG. You just need that $35 book, and then you've got an RPG as well. So it's quite an exciting time, and that's been really fun as well. That's been one where Sam and I have kind of merged our teams a little bit. So, you know, Sam deals with RPGs, I deal with toy soldiers. That's one where we've crossed the streams, and it's been like a shared project. So it's quite nice to have that, you know, released alongside the war game, and kind of get a nice boost for both departments, 2 of the 3 departments in the company. So that's been good fun.
And the big guy?
Oh, some guy called Liberty Prime. I don't know who's that guy, right?
Yeah,
so yeah, Liberty Prime. That was our. That was an amusing moment. Some guy called Chris who's just walking past, so I better not say anything rude. The boss was like caught on camera announcing a release date for Liberty Prime, which wasn't the release date that I had on my document. So we had to kind of hustle on that a little bit, but luckily we've been doing the prep work for it. So Liberty Prime is available as a pre-sale at the moment. It's £100, which people were very impressed by on the price point. So that's one of the kits we're building in our new resin factory. What that lets us do is control costs a little bit. So we've managed to get a really good price point on that. It's a 10-part model. It's on a 175mm round base. It's huge.
It's like 8 inches high, 11 inches high.
Yeah, it's
8 to 10 inches high.
It's ridiculous.
And he's bent over.
Yeah, he's crouched down. He's spiking a nuclear bomb. Like, he's got a little Fat Man bomb in his hand. He's spiking that, doing like a touchdown. So that's really cool. Yeah, so that's available now.
He's wicked.
Really cool model. It's in the cabinet. Maybe grab some shots of it in a little bit. We're very proud of that one. We've just there's 2 in existence at the moment. The one in the cabinet, and then I've just handed one over to our studio.
And I've been told that one's going home with me.
Sure, for the right price. Like, we will sell it to somebody.
I just have to put pictures of it all over the place.
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that. No worries. We've got a couple of other sneak peeks in there. So we've got the new settlement workbench. Which I would have been making that, but I had to make Liberty Prime instead, so we had to push that one back a little bit. But that's a really nice set of 5. You know, if you've played Fallout 4, you'll recognise them. It's the armor bench, it's the chems desk, it's the power armor frame. So that's, we're doing a lot of that scenery, and we've actually released 4 new scenery sets here as well. First time they've been available, which is the Boston Scatter, Boston Searchables, Vault-Tec lockers, and cases and crates. So those little scenery pieces, the idea is you use them to kind of dress your scenes. If you're playing the RPG, they might be your objectives. If you're playing the war game, they're, you know, something to hide behind, but they also, you know, they're you know, sculpted true to Fallout 4. So if you've played that game, you'll recognise them as, you know, these are literally the things I'm searching through when I'm playing the game. Really, really proud of them. We've got a whole bunch more scenery stuff coming. We're always doing new things, and again, they're done in-house, so we've managed to keep the price point on them really, you know, surprisingly low actually. And we remastered all the first wave of scenery and brought the price down on that as well. So where possible, we are trying to, you know, price cut, not price increase, which is a rarity in this industry, I know. Can't do it for everything, obviously, but yeah, with the scenery, we just thought we really want people to use it, and we managed to find that way of doing it. So yeah, I'm really proud of the scenery, and Adam's been doing some superb paintwork with them. We've got his demo tables. Maybe you scoot around and look at the demo tables. He's got a beautiful, like, ruined area of Boston that leads into a full vault, and that's kind of full of our resin pieces, as well as the MDF terrain that he does with the Black Site guys.
The cars are wicked.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the guy that makes the cars, but they're sliced up into MDF slices, and then, you know, you glue them together and then, like, sand and smooth off the bonnets, and they just look phenomenal. We've got our Corvega, I think we've maybe got, no, we have no Corvegas left. We're out of Corvegas. We do have 2 other cars that we've sculpted. We'll do a car pack in the near future with some more of those ruined cars, because again, they're so Fallout, right? That's what you find as you walk around, just these burned out wrecks of these weird, you know, futuristic cars. So yeah, it's a good time. I think the other thing we got this weekend that's brand new is the show exclusive miniatures. So they're available online if you're not at the show for this weekend only, or available at Gen Con. They'll be with backers, we go to shows around the world, so Essen is next, and Dragon Meet at the end of the year. What we did with them, we wanted to do something a little bit fun. My resin guy, Martin, our caster, sent me a sample of some transparent, and I was like, oh, I've got a really cool idea for this. We've got these models coming up, and they'd work really well. So we've got the putrid glowing one and the bloated glowing one, who are in the Wave 2 card pack, and they're coming out as a product in the near future. They're available in translucent green resin, which look really awesome. If you get a little LED in the feet, that would really make them pop quite nicely, but they look awesome just out of the packet. And then we've got a pack of 3 courses. So the Institute are coming hopefully the end of the year. That's our aim. Models are off with the studio painter Adam now. And so we've done a set of 3 of them in blue as well. So that's like they've powered up their stealth boys, they've gone invisible, and they're kind of out there sneaking around the wasteland. So that's a really nice, they don't do anything different to the normal models, but it's just that cool thing where when you activate your stealth boy, you swap the model out, and it just looks cool, right? Like it's just it's a fun little promo item. So they've been going really well. They've proven really popular, so I'm really happy with the response to them. We'll probably do more of those in the future, see what else is somewhat translucent in Fallout. Those of you who know your Fallout might have some ideas about other things we could do. So yeah, it's been good, and then, like I say, it's been, like, our first day was mad. We had like a 3 hour long queuing, which we've never had before, so that was really exciting. Yeah, glad people can finally get their hands on it, and we got over that little production bump, and it's smooth sailing going forward, right? That's the dream.
All right. So now let's move to Elder Scrolls.
Okay, Elder Scrolls.
Skyrim.
So that was our big Adepticon announcement that we had to sit on and not announce, which was beyond frustrating for me because me and the guys have put a lot of work into getting ready for that announcement, and then it just wasn't quite the right time to reveal it. So I literally sat at Adepticon with a box of the Dragonborn Triumphant promo miniatures sat under the desk the whole time that I couldn't tell people about. We have them here now. Yes, they're available now. So that's what we decided to do there. So the game is we finished development on the game. It's in production now, so it's in layout, final prep, and production. We started casting the miniatures. We wanted to do something so people who love Skyrim, love Elder Scrolls, and are excited for the forthcoming game have a chance to get prepared, get hyped for it, because there's nothing worse than us saying, hey, there's a new game, and you can find out about it in 2 months' time. So we did the Dragonborn Triumphant, so it's the Dovahkiin in his his classic helmet, 2 swords with the kind of the dragon tail wrapped around him. So that's available here for $20, and that's in a promotional package. I did a really nice little black box with the Skyrim logo in foil silver. So we want to do something really, really special as like a kind of a jumping off point. That is limited edition in that box. It will come back not in the box, so if you want a really cool limited edition packaging to celebrate the launch of Elder Scrolls, we've got it here at the show, and again it's available online, but it is limited edition. The game itself, we've brought the fully painted contents of the 2-player starter set, so been working with a new studio on that. Adam's so busy with Fallout we couldn't use him for both games, so we found a new studio, guys called Castle Brush. I need to stop saying their name because I want them to do all the work for me. I don't want other people using them, but they're phenomenal, like such professional work, such high quality work. So we've got all the 2-player starter set here to show off to people in terms of the miniatures. We were hoping to demo it, but we're still in those final stages of production, so we wouldn't have dice and everything. So we didn't want to do a disappointing demo where it's not the real components. I want to have like the actual dice. It feels better, right? But it's going to be either very, very late this year or very early 2020. So it's not a million miles away now.
Okay. So what's the gameplay like?
Sure. So if you've played Fallout, you'll kind of recognize echoes of it. So we use Wasteland Warfare as a jumping off point, but this one, James Sheehan was our developer and designer for Fallout. We took his work and then we handed it off because he's so busy with Fallout. Like he doesn't get to do anything else apart from Fallout for me. So we gave the work over to Mark Latham, who's an industry veteran. People might know him. He did a lot of work with Games Workshop, doing some work with Mantic, a few other people. He took that and he kind of spun it out into a slightly different direction. But like I say, you'll recognize the kind of the DNA of the game in there. So it uses another D20 that's very similar, slightly different statistical lineup, but it's the same core concept. You roll that D20 as a skill test. You add colored dice in. We use D6s, not D12s in this one, but they are again custom D6s. This one's built around the idea of stamina management. So if you've played Elder Scrolls, you'll be familiar with your stamina bar, and as you do powerful attacks or as you run around, your stamina bar depletes. The game's the same, so you kind of have a stamina meter, and you have to spend that resource to do special stuff. But obviously, if you overspend, then you're out of stamina for a turn or two. So then you might do like a big alpha strike, but then have to take a turn or two to recharge recharge that battery. It plays roughly the same scale, so a 3-foot board, 5 to 50 miniatures. We're using the same, 30mm based, awesome quality resin figures. Everything goes through Bethesda, so it's true to Elder Scrolls. The jumping off box is going to be the kind of the Civil War, the Skyrim Civil War. So it's the Stormcloaks versus the Imperials. But this one's a slightly different game in that there's kind of like we've got a very, very strong AI system, and we wanted to utilize more of that. So if you and I were playing a game, you were playing Imperials, I was playing Stormcloaks, there would then be a neutral third-party AI, say the Draugr, so say we're fighting over a Draugr tomb, there'd be these Draugr and these skeletons kind of wandering around, getting involved in the fight. We can like farm them for XP, or maybe they interfere in a really critical moment in the combat. There is a leveling system as well, so as you play, your characters can earn XP points, spend them, and then like level up in game. So you flip the card over, and then they have. I hope that's still in the game. I'm pretty sure that's still in the game. It's hard work, man. When you're developing a game, like you see so many variations on it that you're like, did that make it into the final version? And I'm so busy with Fallout now that Gavin, my line manager, kind of took on Elder Scrolls for me. So I'm pretty sure that's a thing, right? That sounds cool, so it must be in there. So yeah, that Fallout. The Elder Scrolls beat. And what's kind of fun about that is, as well as it lets us iterate new versions of characters in the future. So let's say you're playing Israel the Thrice Pierced, and you're playing him, and you flip over and he levels up, and then later down the line we can release a new character version of him, and you can level up again, and you can keep building those characters. It tends to be very kind of hero-centric, but then there are kind of nameless grunts who are the kind of the backup, and the heroes will sort of charge them up and give them stamina and lead them into battle. So we've already got Imperial Swordsmen, we've got Imperial Archers, we've got heavy Imperial Swordsmen. For the Stormcloaks, very similar. We've got Stormcloak guys with great swords who they're kind of like the Stormcloaks are like your melee beat stick class cannons, so they're super powerful with really strong heavy weaponry, but they're not wearing as much armor. Whereas your Imperials are they're more traditional sword shields, heavily armored, so not as damaging, but the idea is they can kind of tank out the fight. So that's that kind of diametrical opposition there. We have other factions coming, so bandits, the heroes can fight amongst themselves, so you can have your Dragonborn leading a party of followers and henchmen. So that's quite exciting, and then loads to come.
Alchemy?
Sorry?
Alchemy?
Is alchemy in the game? Yeah. Like it's like everything. Like like with Fallout, I sort of always joke, if it's in Fallout, it's in our game. Like we almost have too much Fallout in our Fallout game, and Elder Scrolls is going to go the same way. Like if you like Elder Scrolls, and we're starting with Skyrim, but it's not just the Skyrim game. So we've already done a bunch of Elder Scrolls Online sculpts, and we're doing some Morrowind sculpts, doing some Oblivion sculpts. Like we want you to be able to play in like the bit of Tamriel that you like. I'm a big fan of the year I went to uni, I spent my summer before I went just playing the heck out of Morrowind. Like it had just come out. It's my first introduction to Elder Scrolls. Just running around the world, like I don't know where I'm going, I don't know what I'm doing, but this is amazing. So I just I'm obsessed with the giant mushrooms. So like giant mushroom scenery was like the only my major involvement has been to say to our guys like, go away and brief me the giant mushrooms. I want them as scenery pieces. So that's going to be awesome. We've had such a success with the Fallout scenery line. We want to make sure that like when you're playing the game, you're playing it in the environment. So that's going to be awesome. So yeah, like I say, we're shooting for Christmas 2020. We may just sneak it in. It may slide just into 2021. 2019 into 20. Sorry, I've lost a year. It's day 2 and I'm knackered. So yeah, we're shooting for the tail end of 2019. It may slide into 2020 depending on shipping from China. We're doing a core box with PVC again. But we've gone for a different PVC to the PVC that's in Fallout. So we know there was a few issues. Some of the PVC was coming out a little bit warped. Then this stuff is tougher. So we had a whole batch of R&D on the PVC. Many samples were sent to me, and I was going through and checking. Does this one behave in this way? Does this one behave in this way? So the new PVC, the bases remain flat. It's a little bit more robust, so we shouldn't see any of that damage out of the box that we were getting with some of the early Fallout stuff. And as we reprint Fallout, we'll move to that PVC as well, which is good. However, what I think is going to happen. Last time I checked, this is happening, so apologies if it doesn't happen, but it should be the case. We're going to do a box set without the PVC now as well. So people like me, I'm a painter, I'm a hobbyist. I don't really like the PVC as much. PVC is great for people who maybe aren't wargamers, or maybe they just want to get playing straight away, or they're not so worried about the painting. So we're going to offer that as one product, but we are shooting to do the box set as just a rule set as well. So exactly the same contents, just less the models. We will then do a resin collector's edition with a resin upgrade set, like we did with Fallout. So
very nice.
Yeah, like we just we want to try and cater to all the crowds, and that's kind of the Modiphius joke is, do we want A or B? And the answer is yes, because we always want both. So we're going to try, we want to make sure that if you're, because one of the real strengths of the Bethesda licenses and why we're working with Bethesda is, there are people out there who love Fallout, who've never touched a minis game in their life, but they're like, holy cow, this is this awesome Fallout stuff. And we want to bring those people in as well. So, do I love wargamers? Of course, I'm one of you guys. I've been wargaming 26 years. It's my job. Like, my job title is literally guy who wargames. Not literally, but you know what I mean, figuratively. So, you are my people. I want to make a game that you love, that has products you want to play with, that rewards your support. But also, we're interested in the people that love Fallout and have never miniatures game in their life. And that's why our games are designed to be, easy to get into. We have the kind of get acclimated process to introduce you to concepts of wargaming. And whilst our games are quite, token intensive and icon intensive, the actual core rules are very simple. Like, once you get over that system shock of seeing so many icons and tokens and colors presented, and you break the rules down, they're actually quite easy to pick up. So we're shooting for a kind of a veteran audience, but also to bring people in. Because bringing people into the hobby is important, man. Like, recruitment is massively important for all of us.
Yes, it is.
None of us are getting any younger, right? There will come a time when we have to hand the torch on to the next generation of gamers.
That's fair.
So yeah, we want to make sure we make games that people want to play, and it's been really exciting. So yeah, that's kind of the overview. Much like Fallout, it's a narrative game. It has AI-driven elements. It's going to be cooperative. There will be some settlement building. So Fallout's got kind of everything in one box. This one we're probably, just because we learned a lot of lessons with Fallout, we scaled back a little bit of the box content. So the core experience comes with kind of two ways of playing, the competitive and then the cooperative. So it's like delving, is like going into dungeons and looking for stuff, versus a standard straight-up fight. We will then do like campaign expansions in the future, and the kind of like that classic thing where you stumble across this kind of ruined fort and you think, oh yeah, we can make a base out of this.
The RPG expansion?
Controversial. We don't know yet. We're still working on that. Like the RPG, it's an obvious choice. Like we've got the Fallout RPG.
Obvious.
It's an obvious choice. Like we're aware.
I mean, they did it with Fallout.
We did it with Fallout. That was a good moment. I can't make any promises with the RPG at this moment. I'm afraid.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
Anything else I want to add?
Probably does. Nah, I got it.
No, I think that's good for now. Like we have other things going on, but that's the exciting stuff for now. Like I don't want to give all the. I mean, there's something massive coming, but I cannot say
it's probably a dragon.
Oh. There's at least two massive things coming. Sure, there is a dragon coming. Yeah, let's just put that out there. Right, yeah, there's a dragon coming. Yeah, of course. We did Liberty Prime. Liberty Prime was a test bed. We got away with it. I think now we've learned, like, yeah, we can do bigger resin than we thought. Chris was like, day one, make a dragon, make it happen. And we were like, can we make the game first? And nope, dragon. So dragon is coming. Maybe two dragons.
Probably
maybe.
Some really cool terrain.
Oh yeah. Like I say, mushrooms. Like that's the coolest terrain.
I meant like temples.
Ruined forts, Drago temples.
I see a whole like build your dungeon
build your own,
thing.
Yep. Yeah. No, we have all sorts coming.
There's so much potential. All right, man.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Take it easy.
Bye, guys. Enjoy your show if you're here.
Hi guys. Right. Meet the Nibbles, who's gonna go down. She just decided not to go down my back, so we'll do this for her so she's comfy. Thanks for watching my video, and I appreciate it. Please hit the like button and share it if you know somebody who might be interested. And of course, there's always Twitter and the Facebook thingy, and soon I have a newsletter coming. That'll be down there or in the link below, and my kitty cat loves that idea. So anyway, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, subscribe. Be a part of my community, our community. Let's make it grow together. See you guys at a con somewhere, or a local store, or if I'm driving through the country, maybe a game club. I don't know, you're not going to go knock down my camera. Bye, guys.